In my 6th year with Nathan Bennett, Nathan, I'm getting married, I said. He jolted, suddenly snapping back to reality, looking somewhat troubled. Hannah, you know the company is at a crucial point with our financing. I'm not in the mood to. It's okay, I replied, my smile calm and composed. Nathan misunderstood. I was getting married, but not to him. Chapter Mom, please tell Grandpa that I agreed to the arranged marriage. Really? My mother sounded delighted, then caught herself. Wait, what? About that boyfriend you've been with for years. Yes, we hoped you'd find someone from a suitable background, but if it's over, please arrange the marriage. My mother didn't rush to ask why. Think it over for a few more days. Your grandfather carefully chose this match. He's managing some investment company under their family name, but marriage is a big decision, and I don't want you to be hasty. Mom, I'm not being hasty. I've thought it through. Yesterday, during a call with my brother, he accidentally let slip that our family's finances were on the verge of collapse and arranged marriage was the best solution. Of course, someone like me, a girl who once broke ties with her entire family for love, would never have considered this before, but things had changed. The only explanation was that my hopelessly romantic lovesick self had died. It was time to wake up. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I glanced in the direction Nathan had been staring earlier, a self-mocking smile touching my lips once. He used to look at me that way too. In college, he pursued me for 3 years. When I asked what he liked about me, he grinned like an idiot and said I was the prettiest girl he'd ever seen. I didn't like fools, but his sincerity eventually won me over. Still, I didn't give in easily, but Nathan didn't mind, rain or shine. He'd bring breakfast to my dorm every morning. He'd track my monthly cycle, bringing me chamomile tea and pain relievers before it started. If I looked twice at a necklace, he'd find part-time work to save up and buy it for me. When I was upset, he'd rack his brain to tell jokes to cheer me up. Even if I merely frowned, he'd ask if I wasn't feeling well. But in the end, nothing could compete with a childhood sweetheart. 2 months ago, his childhood friend suddenly came to Brookshire to visit him. From our first meeting, I noticed Nathan had no sense of boundaries when he was with Nina Smith. I didn't think much of it, assuming Nina would leave after a few days. Unexpectedly, she became Nathan's personal secretary and stayed in Brookshire. When I asked about it, Nathan just said they needed someone, and it was better to hire someone they knew. But after that, his business trips and overtime became more and more frequent. Not coming home at night became common. The day before yesterday, I checked the attendance records in HR and discovered they'd been inseparable for a while. On business trips, they went together, just the two of them. The expense reports submitted to finance showed only one executive suite and overtime. Well, that was even more obvious. Seeing me leave Nathan's office, Nina stood up from her desk by the door. She smiled brightly. Hannah, you don't look well. Did you and Nathan have a fight? I had no energy to argue with her and tried to walk past. Hannah Jefferson, she called after me. You're turning 30 next year, right? Stop being childish. LD venture capital firm still hasn't approved our funding, and Nathan's really stressed about it. If you can't help him, at least don't distract him at such a crucial time. I frowned slightly, looking at her calmly. Nina Smith, I co-founded this company with Nathan. If he can keep you here, I can make you leave. You? She hadn't expected my firmness. She froze, then spoke tearfully. I was just trying to help. If you don't want to hear it, fine. But why are you threatening to fire me? Who dares to fire her? Nathan came out, his tone cold. Hannah, Nina's young, and she's just finding her feet in a new city. Can't you be more understanding if she says something wrong? Young, I couldn't help but laugh. Nina was only 3 months younger than me. Fighting back tears, I took a deep breath. Nathan, I'm giving you a choice. Either she goes, or I go. Hannah Jefferson, stop being unreasonable. I froze, dazed. I couldn't remember the last time he'd called me using my full name. Hannah, you must be misunderstanding my